Hey all, it's Lauren Hallmark with Holla at Your Health. If you have not watched my intro video on why I'm doing this or what this channel is about, feel free to go back. But this specific video is just about the 3 cool things about essential oils or plants in a bottle. The goal is to empower you just to learn more about how to use plants for your health and wellness. And I'm just going to focus on 3 cool things first. So the first cool thing about essential oils is that they are safe. They are 100% natural and safe. I will teach you some safety precautions and when using them, but they are just naturally found in plants. And so there's no side effects or addictions, which is great. And when you extract essential oils from plants, you can use them for your health benefits. So essential oils are naturally in plants. You can find them in the leaf, in the stem, in the root, in the bark, and the seed of an essential oil, and they are of a plant, and they are there to protect the plant's immune system and to help it with any threats that threaten the plant. And so when we extract them, we can use them similarly for our health. Plants also have so many emotional benefits to them as well, which I'll get into later. But did you know that essential oils are 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs? They are super concentrated. And you may have experienced essential oils naturally in plants around you when maybe you've picked up like a peppermint leaf before, or like muddled a mint leaf in like a mojito or something like that. And you smell that aroma right away. And so essential oils, the reason you can smell that aroma is because you're popping the little microscopic essential oil sacs, which is super cool. And so just another thing on this category, so there are tons of essential oils out there. And so when, unfortunately, there are some essential oils that are not filled with just plant matter. There are some essential oils that are filled with just other additives or fillers or pesticides or things like that. But what is different with doTERRA and what made me feel safe about using these for my healthcare was their standard. So the FDA doesn't regulate essential oils. So if you have a medicinal grade essential oil or a high quality, you have to have your standard. So theirs is certified pure therapeutic grade. And all that means is that these essential oils are pure and potent. Pure meaning that where these plants come from, this is super cool, where these plants come from, and this is like one of the biggest differences with doTERRA, is where these plants come from is where they are native to, where they are indigenous to. And so this is wild orange, but I always talk about lemon essential oil. So lemon, doTERRA's lemon is from southern Italy because it has the best climate and the best soil to thrive, for that plant to thrive. Or if you've ever had like a pineapple from Hawaii or an orange from Florida, it tastes so much better than the ones maybe up north in North America. Or there's a lot to discover about a plant growing where the climate and the temperature is best, and it has a higher therapeutic benefit to your body. So doTERRA gets their plants where they thrive, where they are natively grow the best. And then potent, meaning that these essential oils do not have any additives or any fillers or anything. It is just purely plant matter. And I'm going to show you a website on how you can actually prove that in a little bit. So their standard, again, is certified pure therapeutic grade, and it just made me feel really safe about using these on my body. And then I'm just going to talk about peppermint here really quick. So peppermint is super strong. Speaking of how essential oils are more powerful than herbs, 1 drop of peppermint essential oil, so I'm just going to put 1 drop. This is how I use peppermint mostly in my hand. 1 drop is equal to 28 cups of peppermint tea, which is very strong. So I'd rather just have 1 drop of peppermint than like make 28 cups of tea. But I use this mostly for feeling energized. So after a long day of work or before I work out, I put a drop in my hand. I can cup it over my nose and my mouth, or I can huff it. So if you have this oil, if I have sent you this oil or you already have it, feel free to do this with me, but you can put a drop in your hands. I sometimes make a little fist like this and like huff it, but it's just gonna open up your airways. So it's really energizing. It promotes clear breathing. It cools the body down. So sometimes I'll rub it on my neck just to cool my body down if it's a hot day outside, and it can relieve some head tension. So you can put it on your temples or the back of your neck. Just be careful not to get it too close to your eye. So those are the main things that I use peppermint for. I also use it for like any inflammation that I'm feeling or any like tension in my body, on my knees, anything like that. And then these little bubbles mean that you can use it aromatically, topically, and internally. I will get into the 3 ways to use them more in the next video, but let's go to the next cool thing about essential oils. So the second cool thing about essential oils is that they are effective. They are so super, super effective. And so if you are really, really into science or biology, you are probably going to think this is so simple talking about cells, but I am a teacher, and so I like breaking down things really simply and on an elementary level and with pictures. And so the reason essential oils are so effective which is because of how they work with our cells on a cellular level. And so if you look at this picture of a cell or you make a fist, our cells have an oily membrane around them. And so the oily membrane its job is to keep the good things in and the bad things out, and so when we have a threat, sometimes our threats can live on the outside of our cell, like this little purple guy right here, or sometimes they can live on the inside of our cells. And so the way essential oils work, essential oils can actually permeate through the cell membrane because oil and oil can mix, and it can help our cells on a cellular level, which is incredible. When you can help your body on a cellular level, you are going to feel amazing. And so that's why when you use doTERRA essential oils, you feel how effective they are almost immediately, sometimes when you're consistent over time. And so they're oftentimes more effective than modern approaches to health problems. I always like to preface this part though by saying I am super thankful that we live in a world where we have modern medicine and we have more like holistic medicine. I love that we have both those options at our fingertips. And I have so many family and friends who are in the medical field, and we have relied on modern medicine so many times. And I'm so thankful for that. I just use these more as a preventative or more as like a proactive way to help my healthcare. And so I go by like the 80-20 rule. Like 80% of the time, I just want to have something natural at my fingertips I can try first. But if the 20% of the time, like for more serious things, like I'm going to need to see a doctor or a nurse or somebody in the medical field to help me with that. So I always like to preface that because I think we can live in a world where we can have natural things in our tool belt or our medicine cabinet and modern medicine too. And so along with the effectiveness, essential oils, like I said, can permeate that cell membrane to help us on a cellular level. So the one I always talk about with this section is On Guard. So this oil is super effective. It has probably saved me so many days of not calling in for work just because it's helped my immune system. It just promotes a healthy immune function. Some of the oils in here, this is a blend. It has wild orange, clove, cinnamon, eucalyptus, rosemary. And so I actually put a drop in my water every day, or I rub it on the bottom of my feet. Again, I'll get into more about topical use and internal use, but it also soothes a sore throat. You can rub it on the outside of your throat with some coconut oil. You can gargle it. And the cinnamon is just really numbing, and it has helped me every time when I have, just to soothe that sore throat. And then it's also super cleansing. I actually cleaned my entire house with this. I was looking to swap out all my cleaners to help my respiratory health, to help my seasonal threats. I wanted to get to the root cause of it. And so I wanted to swap out all my cleaners for more, natural cleaners. So I use this with some vinegar. I clean my floors with it, everything, wash my hands. So that is a little bit about On Guard. And then the third cool thing about essential oils is that they are affordable. And so when I talk about this part, I did not think they were affordable when I first got oils. I thought they were super expensive, and I didn't get them for like 6 months. I saved up all my money to get them because I mostly just wanted to diffuse them. But I did not realize that they would replace so many things in my house and actually save me a lot of money. So again, 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, I just want to have something in my medicine cabinet that I can use that's not going to have side effects. That's just me personally. And then 20% of the time, like, I need medicine, modern medicine, and I need a doctor. But they have saved me so much money. I have lots of stories. So if you ever want to hear a specific story on how much I have saved from not having to go to the doctor or to the, different things like that, let me know. But they are pennies per dose. And so one drop is less than 10 cents for most of these oils. And so they last a really long time. There's 250 drops in these big bottles, and they also have some small bottles too, but they last me like 4 to 5 months sometimes. And so there are so many stories about hundreds of dollars that people have saved in medical costs with just trying out something natural first, and then seeing if that works. So I always talk about lavender with this section, and lavender is super calming for the mind. That's what everybody thinks of when they think of lavender. And so I put a few drops in my hand and rub on my temples and the back of my neck and put on my pillow at night. It's also really calming for the skin. So if you get any like skin irritations, you can use some coconut oil and rub some lavender on that. For any like acne, I rub coconut oil or like a carrier oil and lavender, and that's helped me a lot. This plant is actually a natural antihistamine. So when I have some seasonal threats, just to support that, I'll rub it on my sinuses or over the bridge of my nose. So lavender is amazing. And then that's the third cool thing about essential oils, that they are affordable. And I actually have one more cool thing about essential oils. It's kind of like a bonus cool thing that I will share with you if I can exit out of here. So the fourth cool thing about essential oils is that sourcing matters. And so this is the coolest part, and this is the reason I got doTERRA essential oils. So sourcing matters. So where doTERRA gets their oils is where they're native to, but they are looking for small scale farmers. Oftentimes where these plants are indigenous to, they are in third world countries or in places where the economy is not as strong and there's not as many jobs. So doTERRA goes and looks for the plant is indigenous to, where it thrives, and then they look for small scale farmers, particularly women. And so they go in and they they provide an opportunity for these growers, or oftentimes these growers have already been harvesting this plant for a long time, and they go in and they pay them a fair wage, on-time payments. This industry is huge, so people get taken advantage of left and right. They go in, they pay them a fair wage, pay them on time, and they empower them to create an income for their family and to stimulate the economy. Not only that, they teach them or make sure that there are sustainable practices to reduce their carbon footprint. They're very conscious about that, which is another one of my values, along with fair trade. And so that just struck a chord in my heart, because that I just love that they are empowering people to create an income for their family. And so we get to impact our lives, but also the people who are growing these. So you can come to the source2.com website and you can look all over the world of where we source our essential oils. So this is honestly the biggest difference with doTERRA. And this is why I used to think that, why are these essential oils so expensive? If you can, there's on doTERRA's YouTube channel, you can watch all the ways that they source these oils and the process of it and how long it takes and all the testing that goes into it. If you see a bottle of maybe frankincense at Walmart for $5, you can, after watching some of their videos and understanding this website, you can understand that that is not a true, that is not truly plant matter. It is a synthetic version made in a lab, whereas this is completely different. And so if you want some proof or evidence or science, like that was what I was looking for. On the bottom of all these bottles, I don't know if you can see this, but there is a batch number. Every batch number is different. You can type it up here into the quality ID, and you are going to find the tests. They do over 52 tests before they even get this oil, and you can find all the tests, all the history of this oil, who grew it, all the chemistry that you want on this website. So that is the fourth cool thing about essential oils is that that sourcing matters. So that was a lot of information, but this is probably my favorite part about teaching people about doTERRA is the difference that that is in these oils. So go ahead and go to the next video if you want to learn about 3 ways to use them.